Good evening. So today we are going to deal with a very important topic, that is development of tooth. So before we deal with the macroscopic aspect, one needs to know and one must know how is a tooth developed down at the microscopic level and histological level. So to begin with, the human body consists, we are developed from three different layers: the ectoderm, the endoderm, and the mesoderm. Now, our oral cavity is lined by oral ectoderm, whereas the foregut is lined by the oral endoderm. What separates these two is a membrane known as the buccopharyngeal membrane. Now, what happens on the 27th day of gestation is that this membrane is going to rupture, and these two are going to come into contact with one another. Now, imagine these cells are the oral ectoderm, and underlying them we have the ectomesenchyme. Now, when the embryo is around 6 weeks old, these ectomesenchymal cells are going to send signals to the ectodermal cells. And the ectoderm starts proliferating at a very rapid pace. And what it forms is these knob-like structures as we see here. So, what are these knob-like structures called? They are called as primary epithelial band. Now, this primary epithelial band plays a very major role. Okay, now it is going to divide into two parts. Okay, we have the outer vestibular lamina and we have the inner dental lamina. Now, this dental lamina also has two parts to this. Okay, there is a lingual extension to it and there is a distal extension to it. Now, this lingual extension, also known as the successional lamina, is functional from 5th month in utero to 10 months of age, whereas a distal extension is from 4 months in utero to 4 years of age. So, what are the functions of these? The dental lamina is responsible for formation of deciduous teeth. The successional lamina is responsible for formation of permanent incisors, canines, premolars, whereas the distal extension forms the permanent molars. Now, what happens to this dental lamina? The total activity is around 5 years of age, after which it starts to degenerate. As in how the tooth will start developing, the dental lamina will start degenerating. Only remnants will remain, which we call as the cell rest of seres. So, what about the vestibular lamina, which we see right here, the outer portion? The vestibular lamina is the epithelial thickening of the label and the buccal, which is label and buccal to the dental lamina. We call it as the vestibular lamina or the lip furrow band. Now, this is going to hollow out subsequently and it is going to form the oral vestibule. Now, these ectodermal cells, in this primary epithelial band, these ectodermal cells are going to start proliferating due to downgrowth in the ectomesenchyme, and they mark the beginning of the enamel organ. Now, every enamel organ is going to develop at a different time, and the first ones to develop are present in the anterior mandibular region. To sum up the entire development, what exactly happens first is a rupture of the buccopharyngeal membrane, which leads to formation of the primary epithelial band. Now, this primary epithelial band splits into the dental lamina and the vestibular lamina, which we call as the oral vestibule. And the dental lamina has three things to it. Either there is going to be distal proliferation, which is responsible for formation of permanent molars, lingual extension, where it forms the germs of all the permanent teeth other than the molars, or it degenerates to form the cell rest of seres. Thank you.